Hi everybody, it's Double B Billy Boudreaux, aka Wrestle Gamer, back with another installment of WGS-TV right here on the WGS YouTube channel. And it's Q&A time. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who took the time out to send me some questions for me to answer. I'm going to choose 5 of you guys, and I'm going to answer 5 of your questions. And every one of you guys who sent me a question, the link to their YouTube channel will be in the description box. So you guys will get your props for it. So again, you guys sent me, I'm gonna admit, for my first Q&A video, you guys sent in some really good questions. Really good questions. And the first person I'm going to start out with is Dashing Kevin Walsh. And his link to his channel will be in the description box. He's got a couple of questions for me. His first question says, do you think Jinder Mahal has a bright future in the WWE? Yes. And here's why. You know, he's done a real good job drawing heat with the crowd on Friday Night SmackDown. He's really great at doing that. He's got good in-ring skills. He's shown that he does know what he's doing inside the ring. But now that they're just randomly using him to draw heat, what they need to do with him now is they need to actually insert him into a storyline and see how well he can feed off the fact that the heat that he can draw from the crowd and what kind of angle he can work with somebody else. I mean, he's done a real great job so far. You know, he's basically one of the mainstays that helped Great Khali turn heel again. Was him, because I guarantee you, without Jinder Mahal being there, they wouldn't have turned Great Khali heel or anything like that. But now that, like I've said, Jinder Mahal does have a great future, but they need to start using him more actively in a storyline instead of just randomly drawing heat from the crowd. You know, he's a good heel. He's already proved that. Start using him more, WWE. The other question that Dashing Kevin Walsh asked me, do you see a Ring of Honor invasion in the WWE or some sort of stable with CM Punk? No on both parts. No on both parts. I really don't see Vince McMahon or anybody in the company high on the idea of promoting another show on WWE programming, unless WWE, if we don't, well, WWE was a secret financial backer for ECW back in the day. I don't know if they're a secret financial backer for Ring of Honor. I know they're owned by Sinclair Broadcasting. But for some reason, I don't see Ring of Honor being named anywhere in the WWE. Now, it's possible that we have maybe a Ring of Honor style based stable. Since the Nexus is dead, you know, they killed off the Nexus storyline. The guys are still there. I don't know where Mason Ryan is, but the guys are still there. And apparently they're going to kill off the Nexus. And from what it looks like, Kevin, that it's possible that we could see some sort of a stable with CM Punk. Now, will it happen? It could happen. Am I saying it's going to happen? No. I can't make that prediction. Now, I'm going to go on to Nutty Rock Chick. First off, Nutty Rock Chick, thank you very much for the questions. First question says, if you could have commentated on any 5 matches in WWE history, which ones would you pick and why? I'm going to get the why out of the way first. A lot of the matches, there's so many great matches in the WWE, in the history of the WWE. And the ones I would like to pick are of personal preference. I'm not saying the commentary was bad or anything like that, but it'd be like personal preferences that I would love to do these matches. And I'm going to start off right off the bat by saying, got to start off with one of the greatest WrestleMania matches in history. WrestleMania 3, the Macho Man Randy Savage defending the Intercontinental title against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Quite possibly considered to be one of, if not one of the best, if not the best Intercontinental title matches I have ever seen. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Other than my next pick, which is Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. I wouldn't go WrestleMania 26 because WrestleMania 26, but Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25 was really at the same level as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage from WrestleMania 3. I don't know why a lot of these matches are WrestleMania based, but there are. And there was a match at WrestleMania 22 that I would have loved to have commentated myself or with somebody else, and that was the hardcore match between Edge and Mick Foley at WrestleMania 22. That was a pretty damn good match. Really good. And another match, again, this is match number 4 for you, Nutty Rock Chick. Again, like I said, a lot of these are personal preferences. I'm not saying commentary was bad. These are personal preferences, based on my enjoyment. And at WrestleMania 2000, it was the first ever triangle ladder match between the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, and the Hardy Boys for the tag team titles. That match was just incredibly awesome. And I can only imagine how I would have called it. But, if I was given the opportunity to do it, I would. I definitely would. So, match number 5, I have been racking my brain because there have been so many incredibly great matches over the past couple of decades. And now you said WWE history. You also got to factor in the point that WCW is also a part of it, since WCW did sort of acquire the rights to it. But I'm not going to mention any of WCW's matches. Just to be fair to you, Nutty Rock Chick. And you know what? I've always said it for the longest time on my channel. I've always been a big fan of the Money in the Bank ladder matches. And in 2006, they had a really good one. But when they evolved it on WrestleMania 24, Money in the Bank ladder match, that was an incredibly great match. I believe John Morrison was involved. I think we saw him do like a shooting star press with a ladder. It was either a shooting star press or a moonsault with a ladder. And then at one point we saw Shelton Benjamin going through the ladder. He was like off the top, and then Ken Anderson, or back then he was known as Mr. Kennedy, and Carlito pushed him off the ladder, and he went through it, and like that. But then they had Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton and Edge were also a part of that match as well. I don't have the match list in front of me, but definitely the Money in the Bank ladder match from WrestleMania 24 would be my 5th pick, Nutty Rock Chick. Now, and you also go on to ask me, what do I think of the 5-star match rating system? Thumbs down. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's a thumbs down. Whenever I do my reviews here on the channel, I never do a match rating system. I just give my personal opinions on how the matches went in itself. I never do that. I never do a kind of a number-based rating system, because I tried that once, and nobody on my team really agreed with each other as far as match ratings would go, whether it would be a good match or a bad match. So I give a thumbs down to the 5-star match rating system. So thank you, Nutty Rock Chick, for your question. The next person, this is person number 3. Remember, 5 people are getting it. Person number 3 is Chambers Long. And he asked a question. If you could bring back one WWE superstar from the dead, who would it be and why? Without a doubt, the number one name that comes to mind, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero, he had so much life in him. He still had a lot of years left on his career. He had just gotten his life back together. Gotten back with Vicky. Everything was going fine. Things were going great. Next thing you know, boom, gone. And we all remember how we all felt after that tragedy happened. We saw the great tributes that the WWE has done in Eddie Guerrero's name. I still believe that Eddie Guerrero had a lot left to do in this life. He still had a lot of things that he still had, a lot of goals that he still had to accomplish in his life. And it got taken away from him. So, Chambers Long, my answer to your question, without a doubt, it's Eddie Guerrero. Let me go to here. I'm again. You guys sent me so many great questions. It's really hard to pick who I'm going to go with next here for person number 4 that I'm going to answer. And you know what? I'm going to go with HBK 48942, and he asked, in my opinion, what is the greatest traditional Survivor Series match of all time? Now, entertainment-wise, there was one in the late 2006 where they had DX as the captains with a team of the Hardy Boys and CM Punk, and I believe the other team, it was Team Rated RKO, Mike Knox, Gregory Helms, and I think that was it. It was Rated RKO, Mike Knox, Gregory Helms. I'm trying to think of who the last person was. His name, John Morrison, or at the time he was Johnny Nitro. Yeah, and as far as entertainment-wise, it was a great match to watch, and his DX is, funny as always. And basically, I believe that was the only traditional Survivor Series match where it was a shutout. One team picked off all the members of the other team without getting eliminated. So I'm gonna say, as far as entertainment value, HBK 48942, in my opinion, it's that match that I just told you about right there. So thank you very much for your question. Last person, that's going to be person number 5. And it's going to be Billy Coyle Brand. Billy Coyle Brand. And his question is, if there was one thing you could change about the WWE, what would it be? Hands down, the idea to give Michael Cole a heel gimmick. Michael Cole, as a heel, is just, it never went over, as far as I'm concerned, it never went over on me. Michael Cole really did not do a really good job being a heel. They needed to use him they tried to pass him off as a heel play-by-play commentator. Such a thing doesn't exist. There is no such thing as a heel play-by-play commentator. If you want a heel commentator, you're supposed to have him as your color guy. Your color guy is better suited to be the heel commentator, not your play-by-play guy. They should have never went with it. They should have never done it. And if I could go back and change one thing about it, it would be that Billy Coyle Brand. So thank you very much for your question, guys. For those of you who submitted questions, I'm sorry I didn't get to them. I'll get to them at a later date. When I decide to do another Q&A video, guys, I will send up I'll send you guys a notice video of when I'm going to do it. But to those of you who did get selected, that's Billy Coyle Brand, Chambers Long, Nutty Rock Chick, HBK 48942, and Dash and Kevin Walsh. I will have their links in the description box below, guys. Be sure you check them out and subscribe to their channels. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Bujo. Thank you very much for watching.